Day 6 of the 7-day yoga challenge is here, y'all. I'm Shar, and wow, 6 days of showing up like this have been really personal to me and very balancing. And I'm a Libra, so I had to make a power yoga flow all about the challenge of balancing it all, starting from within. You got this. Grab a mat, find a spot, and let's flow. Let's come to an easy seated position today. Get on our mat, get into our practice. Start to invite that breath in. It's day 6 and I'm so excited, y'all. Like I was saying earlier, I am a Libra, so balancing of the mind, the body, the soul is something I can totally lean into. And I just love the idea of the two scales and how that can relate to how we feel within, how that shows up on the outside. So yeah, let's get started. Roll the shoulders down and back. Start to lengthen through that spine. Bring the breath in deep into the belly. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale, deep breath in. And exhale. We're going to play around with a breathwork exercise, which is the alternate nostril breathing. And it's something that I like to use, especially to calm the mind, body, and soul down. And it's crazy how many different breathwork exercises you could do that really play a part into how your day goes on, whether that's getting energy or focusing the mind. Our breath is so important and what brings us this balance that we're all looking for. So with the alternate nostril breathing, we're going to plug one nostril and breathe in and switch on the exhale by plugging the other nostril and blowing it out. So we're only using our nostrils to breathe, and you're going to have your ring finger and your right thumb. And if you're a lefty, you can switch sides. It's all about preference here, baby. So plug the nostril, the left nostril, and we're going to breathe in through the left, in through the right. And switch. 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 And switch. Switch. Last time, switch. Inhale in. Hands come to the side or on your knees. Breathe normally here. Let the affirmation for today be: life is a process in which I am an agent of change. Life is a process in which I am an agent of change. Let's pick that left knee up and guide the left foot just outside that right knee. We're going to take an easy twist. Wrap your right arm around that left knee. Lift the left arm up. Guide it back behind you. Spinal twist. Find your twist here, especially if it's your first one in the morning, or if you're a little bit stiff like me from doing Pilates. Then take your time, get into this pose, and just breathe. Let your body really feel deep into this twist. You should feel it in your left side of your thigh, in your lower back with your lumbar spine. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Inhale, guide that left arm up and over and switch sides. Left leg folds down, right foot comes just outside that left knee. Left arm wraps around that right knee. Inhale, reach up with the right fingertips. Exhale, spinal twist. Breathe. letting your mind start to get comfortable with this idea of balance, this alignment between your breath, your body, and your spirit. Inhale, reach back up. Hands come to the mat and just windshield wipe the legs. Legs fold, easy position. We're going to have our right hand, stick it out across from us, diagonal. Take the left arm, place it underneath, and pull that right arm in. Deltoid stretch. Oh, feels so good. Shake it out. And inhale, reach that right arm up, fold at the elbows so that those left fingertips are kind of tickling your left side of your back. Our left arm comes back behind you, folding at the elbow. And we're going to try to let our fingertips touch, coming into cow face. This is a position that really opens up the shoulders by having an internal and external rotation of the shoulders, allowing you a chance to really bring that breath in on the inhale. So the fingertips should be touching if they can, and the palms are facing one another. Perfect. Reach the right arm up, left arm comes to your side. Let's shake it out. Before we take it on the other side, left arm reaches across, right arm folds underneath. Pull the arm in. Rotate the wrist here. Oh, feels so good. Shake it out. Let that left arm come up, fold at the elbow on your exhale. Your right arm comes back behind you, bend at the elbow. Have the palms facing one another. It may take you a while to kind of adjust and find what feels comfortable, especially if you're not familiar with cow face. But that's what we're here for, to practice together, not be perfect. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Lift that left arm up, right arm comes to the side, shake it out. And walk the hands in front of you. Come into a seated forward bend, and you can rest on your forearms or come on your hands and just kind of lean a little bit forward and drop the gaze. Find your forward bend for today. Just get a good stretch in that lower back before we start moving into this beautiful warm-up sequence that I have for us. Inhale, look up, come into a tabletop position. And you know what to do. We're going to drop that belly, carve the nose up, come into a cow. Exhale, push through the palms, tuck the tailbone into cat. Inhale, drop the belly, carve the nose up, and back and forth like this. Into cat-cow, allowing that spine to warm up, allowing your breath to sync with the body's movement. Exhale, you move into cat. Inhale, you drop the belly, move into cow. That's what I meant. Back and forth. And back into a tabletop. And we're just going to let the left ear and the left hip meet. So we have a scrunch right in the middle of our waist, almost like we're crushing a can. And switch sides. Scrunching over to the right. Bump the hips over to the right. The right ear leans close, almost as if they're trying to touch. And back and forth like this on your left and right side. Perfect. Regular tabletop, back flat. Let those knees come underneath those hips, hands underneath your shoulders. Adjust yourself as you need to. And we're going to exhale, extend out that right arm and our left foot. Let the left toes point down to the mat. Find your balance. And just bring that awareness to your core muscles as you come into this balancing pose. Find that strength. Bend that left foot. Right arm reaches back behind, grabbing just outside that left foot. And really stretch here. Exhale, release. Then that right arm come back to the mat. Left knee comes down. Extend that right leg out on your next breath out, followed by that left arm, balancing tabletop. Breath in, strengthen through that core by just bringing that awareness in. Bend into that right knee, left arm reaches back. Take your time as you come into this. Grab just outside that right foot. And almost as if you're trying to lift the foot up while you're still holding on to it. Exhale, release your bind. Left hand comes down to the mat, followed by the right knee. Drop the belly. Exhale, dome the spine. Just a little cat-cow before we try that again. Ground into your left hand and into your right knee. Extend the left leg out, left toes point down, right arm extends out. Lift that back leg just a little bit higher, just to kind of get into that glute and squeeze it a little bit. Bend into that left leg, reach back with the right hand. Stretch here. Lift that foot up a little bit more as you hold on to it. I feel the stretch. Release the bind. Right hand comes back down to the mat, followed by the left knee. Big breath here before we switch sides. Ground into the right hand and the left knee. Extend that right leg out, toes pointing down. Extend the left arm out. Perfect. Breathe here. Squeeze into that core. Really tighten here. Bend into that right knee. Let the left arm reach back. Take your time. Grab the outside of that right foot. Breath in, breath out. If you feel like lifting that right foot a little bit more, you can. Finding that balance in the right hand, palms, the fingertips, finding that balance. Exhale, release the bind. Kiss the toes together. Forehead comes down in the mat. Give me a child's pose. Take some time here. Open up the knees as wide as you need to. And just breathe. Letting that breath start to return back to its natural cycle. All the while still feeling that warmth build right in your core and radiate all the way to your fingertips and the soles of your feet. Inhale, look up. Tuck the toes, step it back, downward facing dog. I bet that felt good there, didn't it? Balancing and kind of finding that strength in the arms and the palms. But we did it. You can cycle the legs here. Give me 3 big breaths. Inhale, look up. Make your way to the forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Back flat. Exhale, hands come down, forward fold. Root to rise. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Palms come together, bring them to heart center. Day 6. The challenge is finding that balance within and letting it radiate outwardly. Just remember, the affirmation that I was saying earlier is something I want to carry with us for the rest of this practice and even hopefully off of the mat. Life is a process in which I am a significant agent of change. Life is a process in which I am a significant agent of change. We're allowing our body to change different forms as we move through these yoga asanas. So may we find that balance that we use to move our body and let it show up in every single day that we live and that we experience this life. So let's bring this balance to the forefront of our mind with our breath, with our movement, with listening to what feels challenging to our body and adjusting accordingly. Breath here. Bending through the knees, reach the arms up, palms come together. Exhale, slice it down, come into a forward fold. Perfect. Drop the head, let the shoulders hang. Inhale, halfway lift, back flat. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step that right foot back, soften the right knee, untuck the toes, reach up, come into a crescent lunge with me. Exhale, bring awareness into those hips. And by that, I just mean feel the sensation, the pull and the stretch that happens in your hips when you move into this crescent lunge. Take the hands and let's point the palms back behind us, and almost as if we're trying to reach and slap someone's hands back behind us. See if you could give me a little bit of a pull. Arms come back up. Exhale, let them cascade down, framing the left side of that foot. And once your fingertips touch the mat, we're going to extend through the left leg, sinking our hips to heel. You can lift the left toes off the mat if need to, but give me a half split here. Keep that gaze focused down on the mat. Inhale, walk the fingertips back up, bend into the knee, coming back into a lunge. Exhale, move into that half split. Inhale, let your breath guide you. If you feel some little cricks and cracks and sounds, that's totally normal. Exhale, hips sink to the heel. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, last time, hips drop down to your heels. Open up, feel the stretch in the hamstring and the lower leg. Let that fluid movement just take hold. Go ahead and lift the back right toes. We're going to come into a plank pose. Hands underneath the shoulders, squeeze into that core by almost pulling the belly button up towards the spine. Just imagine it, that it is anyway. Exhale, release it down to the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, step it back. Meet me in down dog. Big breath in and out. Perfect. Inhale, look back up. Walk up, forward fold to the front of the mat. Drop the head, bending through the knees here, just a micro bend. Fingertips touch the mat. Let's go ahead and step that left foot back, soften the left knee, reach the arms up. Take your time to move into this crescent lunge. Exhale, let the hips sink a little bit deeper if they can. We just want to keep that right knee directly over that right ankle. Take your palms, face them back behind you. Try to reach a little bit more if you can. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, cascade the hands down. Come into that half split. Exhale, hips to heel. Inhale into lunge. Back and forth like this 5 times. Perfect. Come into this lunge. Push through the palms. Lift the back left toes. Right toes meet back. Come into a plank. Pull that belly button up. Inhale in. Exhale, release it down. Forehead comes to mat. Inhale, push up, upward facing dog. And exhale, tuck the toes, step it back. Down dog. 3 big breaths here. Start to feel that warmth build, that energy take hold within the body, and just let it radiate throughout the entire body. Inhale, look up. Make your way to a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise. Slowly come up. Inhale, feel that energy pull from the soles of the feet, going all the way up to the fingertips. Pick the fingertips up almost as if you're trying to touch the ceiling. Exhale, hands come together, heart center, prayer pose. Give a little check-in to see how you feel. Adjust yourself. Take a sip of water if you need to. Inhale, bend in through the knees, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down to the mat. Step the right foot back, soften the knees, sweep the arms up, crescent lunge. Palms face back behind you. Give a little pull. Come back up. Exhale, cascade the hands down. And give me a half split. Exhale, release, come down to the heels. Space out the toes. Maybe you point the toes as well. Just getting extra stretch in your calf. Inhale, come back into a lunge. Exhale, half split. 3 more like this. Perfect. Last one. Inhale, come into a lunge. Lift the back right toes, step the left toes back, meet me in plank. Hold it here, pull that belly button up to the spine. Hold it here, 3, 2, exhale, release. Forehead comes to mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, step it back, down dog. 3 breaths here. Sigh if you need to, let your breath come out. You deserve to moan and to feel what feels good in your body. Look up, forward fold. Come to the front of the mat. Hands come to the mat, fingertips really gripped into the mat. So you step that left foot back, soften the knee, untuck the toes. Take your time as you sweep your arms up into this crescent lunge. Really feeling each movement as it comes. Palms flip backwards, facing behind you. Give me an extra pull here. Exhale, cascade it down. Fingertips to mat. Exhale, release the hips to heel. Walk the hands back. Gaze focused on the earth. Feel that stretch and pull in the legs, the lower back. Walk the hands forward, breath in, and exhale. Perfect. Come back up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Push through the palms. Lift the back left toes. Step it back. Meet me in plank. We'll hold it here for 5, 4, 3. Pull that belly button up. 2, 1. Release. Forehead comes to the mat. Inhale. Push up. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 big breaths here. Sometimes that's almost like a tongue twister. Perfect. Cleansing breath in. Cleansing breath out. Breathe out through the mouth. Inhale, look up. Make your way to a forward fold. Root to rise, bending in through the knees. Inhale, bring that breath in as your arms lift up. Palms come together. Exhale, bend in through the knees. Reach the arms up again. We're going to take this kind of quickly. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive it down. Inhale, halfway lift, back flat. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up and forward, bend into the knees, sink the hips down, meet me in chair pose like this. Space between the feet and kind of lift the toes so those heels, that weight dumps back into your heels. You can drop the toes to kind of grip the mat. Breathe into this chair pose. Palms come together. Go ahead and twist it over to the left. Right elbow comes right outside that left knee. Breathe here. We practice this beautiful spinal twist. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Chair pose. Breath in. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Twist over to the right. Breathe into this. You got this. Find that strength in the legs. Find that balance by pushing the palms together. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Cycle through the knees if you need to. Just start to feel the awakening that's happening within the core, which is that warmth that you're feeling. Perfect. While the fingertips are on the mat, step that right foot back, drop the heel, bend into the left knee, reach the arms up, warrior one. Perfect. And your right toes are kind of pointed over to the right, just a little bit. Or you can come up on your tippy toes, the balls of your feet if you need to. Find your warrior one for today. Perfect. Reach the arms up, inhale in. Exhale, straighten up through that left knee. Let the left hand come down. Reach up with the right. Revolve triangle pose. You made it. Breath out. You got this. Let the right arm come down. Bend into that left knee and come back into a plank. Perfect. Find that breath. Let's guide it together. Moving the body. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Perfect. Cycle through the knees here. Inhale, look up. Come into a forward fold. Fingertips come to the mat. Step those left toes back. Reach the arms up, bending into that front left knee. Exhale, drop that left heel down. Left toes are pointed out to the outside of the left side of the mat. Whew, a lot of instructions. Come into warrior one. Breathe here and exhale, let the hips sink. Exhale, float the hands down. Step the right toes back. Come into plank. Breathe in, pull the belly button up. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, pushing up, move right into upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, step it back. Downward facing dog. Let your breath come out however it sounds. Don't hold back. Inhale, look up. Make your way to a forward fold. You got this. Micro bend in the knees if you want to. And we're going to take our first two fingers on each hand, hook them around our big toe while we're in forward fold. Straighten up through the knees if we can. Really provide some stretch in that lower back. And if you need to, you can bend into the knees as much as you want. Drop the head, let it hang. Shake it now. Nod the head yes. Release the bind, root to rise, slowly come up. Exhale, hands to heart center, perfect. Bend into the knees, reach the arms up. Palms come together, swan dive it down. Last forward fold. Right foot steps back, soften the knee. Left knee comes down. And we're going to come onto our butt, extending the legs out the length of the mat. Just windshield wipe the feet, point the toes. Just kind of release any of that tension built up in the ankles. Left ear comes to left shoulder, followed by the right ear to right shoulder. Maybe we take some neck rolls or roll the shoulders down and back. This is the point where you listen to your body as soon as you get back on the mat after warming up, and just kind of take a movement that feels right for your body, because it's going to come up. It's just a matter of what needs to be a little bit more loosened and what doesn't. So we're going to push down through our hands, come into a seated position, feet onto the mat, knees bent. We're going to have our hands back behind us. And this is where our core awakening is going to happen. And our core right here, the center of our belly, the center of our bodies, provides that balance for us. And so we want to awaken this by just strengthening it. Same like we do with mindfulness. How we become more mindful, more patient is by practicing a lot more. Same thing happens with our bodies. So bring your hands a little bit closer to the body, pushing through the palms. We're going to lift the right toes up, pointing them, followed by the left toes up. And once you get there, let your left palm reaching up, extend, followed by the right. Coming into boat. Squeeze through the core. You're going to feel a little bit of trembling. That's totally normal. Maybe extend the toes. And you can keep one foot down on the mat, or both, just coming on your tippy toes. Take your boat for today. Exhale, feet come down to the mat, windshield wipe the legs. Perfect. We're going to take a bound ankle position. Come onto our elbows, followed by our backs, transitioning into a reclined bound angle. Adjust yourself. Start to find your breath again. Bring your focus, bring your awareness to your body. If you were to have a balanced morning, what would that look like? What would you be doing with an aligned, a balanced, a harmonious morning? It's like finding that balance, What does that mean? And for me, what comes up when I think about balance is the harmony of being balanced, of feeling mind, body, and soul are truly awakened and connected and working in sync with one another. Harmonious with how I feel when I show up for things, how I show up for others, how I show up for myself. It's all in harmony, and you start to see it a lot more clearly when you start practicing the art of balancing yourself. Find your breath, guide it deep into your belly. We're going to take some full body breathing here. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale through the lips. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Natural cycle of breath. As you find that natural cycle, close the legs together and bring the knees up to the chest. Give yourself a big hug, or maybe rock back and forth on your spine. Let's take the knees, coming into a supine twist. Guide the knees over to the left, still bent at a 90-degree angle. Once you get there, open up the arms to a T. And if you don't have the space, you can keep your arms in a cactus position. And sometimes if you're having any lower back issues, especially when moving into this position, number one, I would say move gingerly into a spinal twist if you're having lower back issues, or you can add a pillow or a block underneath your knees to kind of provide that space between the knees and the earth. Come back through to the center, knees to chest. Give yourself a hug. You've done great today. You did really, really well. And you're showing up for yourself on a 7-day challenge, starting the new year how you want to be. That's finding the balance. Take the knees, guide them over to the right. Open up to a T or a cactus. Inhale, come back through to the center. Arms wrap around. This time lift the head almost as if you'll kiss the knees. Maybe you do. Extend, corpse pose. Pushing through the head to just shimmy the shoulder blades underneath you. It feels really yummy, trust me. If you're lucky enough to have pockets when you come into Savasana, maybe you rest your hands in your pockets to get an extra feeling of that warmth. Maybe you rest your hands on your chest or in your abdomen or off to your sides. You are free to choose how you wish to rest in corpse pose. A few moments like this, take your time. You are safe. You are finding your balance. I'll be here to cue you out when it's time. Slowly guide your awareness back to your conscious body, starting with the soles of your feet, moving up through the legs to the hips, through the belly and the lower back, to the chest, the shoulders, the arms, and the fingertips. Give them a little wiggle. Bring your focus up to the neck, the head, the ears, the head, and lastly the mind. Roll over to your side, coming into a fetal position. And push your way up. Coming back into that easy seated position. We're going to bow the head and seal our practice for today. Thank you so much for sharing your space and your practice with me today. I hope you can bring this sense of inner balance within and start to let it shine off the mat just as much as you do with this practice. Here is to committing to a new mind shift, not set, and balancing ourselves more. We can do this. And if you are ready for the last day, which I hope not, day 7 starts bright early tomorrow. So grab your favorite blanket and eye mask if you have one, and let's get into a yoga plus sound bath medley that I have set up for us to kind of add to this beautiful ending of a yoga challenge. I will see you tomorrow on the mat. Thank you so much for joining me. Peace.